20 million years ago, the ocean had a monster so powerful, even whales were terrified of the shadows beneath them. And the strangest part? It may have gone extinct for one simple reason: it got too successful. The Megalodon wasn't just a shark. It was a living disaster. A creature so massive that modern predators would look like aquarium pets beside it. But what if history had gone differently? What if the Ice Age never finished the job? What if the Megalodon kept evolving until today? Because if that happened, humans wouldn't rule the oceans anymore. They'd survive them. At its peak, the Megalodon stretched nearly 18 meters long. Its mouth alone could swallow a car whole. One bite could crush bone like dry leaves. And every day, it consumed over 1,000 kilograms of meat just to stay alive. But that's not even the craziest part. This thing hunted like a torpedo from hell. It would hide deep below whales where sunlight vanished into darkness. Then suddenly, it attacked upward at terrifying speed. 60 tons of muscle slamming into a whale from beneath. Bones shattered instantly. Panic exploded through the water. And before the victim could escape, the Meg bit down. Hard. Its teeth were the size of human hands. Serrated like steak knives. Built not just to pierce flesh, but to tear entire chunks away. And here's where it gets weird. The Megalodon may have eaten its own kind too. If another Meg drifted into its territory weak or injured, it became lunch. This wasn't just an apex predator. It was a machine programmed only to dominate. Even baby Megalodons were nightmares. Newborns were already longer than cars. Imagine diving into tropical water and seeing a shark the size of a bus that wasn't even fully grown yet. For millions of years, nothing challenged it. Then suddenly, everything changed. The world began freezing. Slowly at first, then brutally fast. Oceans cooled. Sea levels dropped. Entire coastlines vanished beneath expanding walls of ice. And the Megalodon, the king of warm tropical seas, started running out of places to hide. But here's the strange part. The cold alone probably didn't kill it. Scientists discovered the Megalodon was partially warm-blooded. It could heat its own body using muscle-generated warmth, almost like modern great white sharks. That meant it could survive colder waters far better than people first believed. So if temperature wasn't the killer, what was? Starvation. The giant whales Megalodon depended on were disappearing. Ocean currents shifted. Nutrients vanished. Whale populations crashed. Suddenly, the largest predator in Earth's history couldn't find enough food to survive. And that's when a smaller enemy arrived. The great white shark. Faster, more agile, less hungry. While the Meg needed mountains of food every day, great whites adapted quickly. They hunted seals, fish, dolphins, anything they could catch. Meanwhile, the Megalodon was trapped inside its own gigantic body. Too big to pivot. Too big to compete. Too big to survive. And this is where it gets weird. The Meg's own children may have doomed the species. Baby Megalodons grew in shallow nursery waters near coastlines. But during the Ice Age, sea levels constantly rose and fell. Those nurseries disappeared. Entire generations of Meg pups may have died before reaching adulthood. Imagine being born into a world where your home vanishes overnight. Within a few thousand years, the ultimate predator became a ghost. Gone. Or at least, that's what we think. Because what if evolution had one more trick hidden away? What if the Megalodon adapted instead of dying? What if it shrank? Not forever. Just long enough to survive the apocalypse. And once the ice disappeared, what happens next changes everything. Picture this. The Ice Age begins, but the Megalodon changes before extinction can finish the job. Its body starts shrinking, not through slow evolution over millions of years, but through emergency adaptation hidden deep inside its DNA. And believe it or not, some sharks can actually do this. Modern skate species have rapidly changed size when ocean temperatures shifted. So imagine the Meg unlocking the same survival code. Suddenly it becomes smaller, lighter, and far more efficient. Still enormous, but no longer impossible to feed. And that's when the real transformation begins. The old Meg hunted alone. The new one doesn't. It forms packs. Like orcas. Groups of 4 or 5 Megalodons working together in total silence beneath the waves. One attacks from below. Another cuts off escape. The others circle in darkness waiting for weakness. No whale escapes that. No fishing boat either. But that's not even the craziest part. The Meg 2.0 changes its diet too. Squid, seals, fish. dolphins. Anything alive becomes food. And during desperate periods, it even eats seagrass like modern bonnethead sharks. Yeah, a partially vegetarian megalodon. And somehow, that makes it even scarier. Because now it can survive almost anywhere. Cold oceans? No problem. Scientists imagine it developing thick whale-like blubber to trap heat inside its massive body. Deep freezing waters that once threatened extinction now become perfect hiding places. And here's where it gets terrifying. Its breeding grounds disappear from human sight completely. Instead of shallow coastlines, megs begin giving birth deep in the open ocean, thousands of meters from land, far below where humans ever look, meaning entire generations could grow undetected. For thousands of years, Meg 2.0 survives every climate disaster Earth throws at it. Ice ages come and go. Oceans rise again. The planet warms. And once conditions improve, the Meg grows back, bigger than before, stronger than before, hungrier than ever. By the modern age, this creature doesn't just survive the oceans anymore. It owns them. Now imagine the 21st century, with a living megalodon still roaming Earth. Not the old version, the upgraded one. 30 meters long, 200 tons heavy, a heart the size of a car, teeth sharper than machetes, a predator larger than a blue whale. And every single day, it needs over 3,600 kilograms of food. That changes the planet instantly. Whales never become as massive as they are today because megs constantly hunt them down. Entire migration routes become death zones. Shipping lanes get redesigned around meg territories. But here's the strange part. Humans might still enter the water. At first, until the attacks begin. Imagine a fishing boat vanishing overnight. No storm, no wreckage, just twisted metal floating in red water. Then another disappears. Then another. Governments deny it. Scientists panic. Satellite footage catches enormous shadows moving beneath cargo ships. And then the videos leak online. Suddenly beaches empty worldwide. Tourism collapses. Because now every swimmer knows something horrifying. You're no longer the top predator when you enter the ocean. And this is where it gets weird. The meg probably wouldn't even hunt humans on purpose. We're too small, too bony, too inefficient as food. To a 200-ton megalodon, a human is basically a potato chip floating in salt water. But accidents would still happen. Choppy waves, splashing surfers, divers mistaken for seals. One test bite is all it takes. And once megs start hunting in packs, entire boats become prey. Military sonar struggles to track them in deep water. Nuclear submarines avoid certain migration zones. Offshore oil rigs need armed defense systems just to survive. But humanity wouldn't surrender quietly. That's when the oceans become battlefields. Drone submarines, sonic weapons, electrified nets, massive underwater barricades. Humans versus the largest predator in Earth's history. And honestly, the outcome wouldn't be guaranteed. Because the scariest part of Meg 2.0 isn't its size. It's its intelligence. After millions of years surviving extinction events, adapting diets, forming hunting packs, and avoiding humans, this thing would become one of the smartest predators on Earth. Possibly smart enough to understand us. And that changes everything. Imagine a creature capable of recognizing fishing patterns, learning ship routes, avoiding traps, teaching hunting behaviors across generations. Not just instinct, strategy. And while humanity fights back, Earth itself starts changing again. The oceans warm, ice melts, sea levels rise. Tropical waters spread farther north and south every year. For Megalodon 2.0, that's perfect. Its territory expands. Coastal cities suddenly sit beside prime feeding grounds. Places like Florida, Australia, Japan, even parts of Europe become danger zones. Entire beaches shut down permanently. And then comes the most disturbing possibility of all. What if the meg evolves again? Because evolution never stops. If food becomes scarce, maybe some megs adapt into deep-sea hunters lurking in total darkness. Maybe others become scavengers. Maybe one branch fully embraces omnivorous survival and begins feeding on massive underwater forests of seagrass. Or maybe some start hunting closer to shore. That's the nightmare nobody wants to think about. A predator large enough to destroy boats, intelligent enough to work in teams, and adaptable enough to survive almost anything Earth throws at it. The Ice Age failed. Human weapons failed. Extinction failed. And somewhere beneath black ocean water, something ancient still moves silently below the surface, waiting for the perfect moment to rise again. But here's the question nobody can answer. If the Megalodon really had survived evolution, would humans still dare enter the ocean at all?